Chain pop-up parties in East Baltimore are creating problems for neighbors along Greenmont Avenue. As WMER2 News' Dave Detling tells us tonight, the latest party had neighbors up until 3 o'clock in the morning and forced police to break it all up.
Well, neighbors here all along Greenmount Avenue and East 23rd say they are sick and tired of these pop-up block parties involving teenagers, and they want the city to do something about it.
You mean to tell me the authorities just allow this bull crap to happen, shut them down before it even take place? You don't allow them to happen. They don't have a permit. You don't allow it.
Cell phone.
Now, who's tired of these BLM protesters? They killing our sons for no reason. These we's being hunted every time we step outside of our door. Our kings have it rough out there. They gotta worry about the cops trying to kill them, and they gotta worry about XYZ. It ain't nothing for them kids to do. They need stuff to do. That's why they out there doing that stuff. Who tired of them women with their gift cards? These women's got all type of value cards at Michael's and Hobby Lobby. These the sign makingest. Demonstrating women you ever gonna meet in your life. When a junkie dies in police custody in a city they never heard of. Or there's a bad incident with a cop in a city they never heard of with a brother. Like Ferguson or Sanford, Florida, or Kenosha, Wisconsin. But then when 200 to 300 kings and queens pull up on their block and party till 3 o'clock in the morning, by party I mean milling around, fighting, menacing, looking at the people who live in the neighborhood crazy, all hard, mean mugging them and parking in their parking spots and blocking the middle of the road so they can't get through. Like if you coming through this street and you live in this neighborhood and you coming to go home and there's some people in the car just double parked in front of the street and you can't get by, oh, you better not hit that horn. You better not hit that horn. You will have trouble, Jack. But I'm tired of this, man. This whole thing of where everybody else got to deal with this crap. But you got your pom-poms, your cheerleader pom-poms when everybody else dealing with this crap. And then when it's time for you to deal with it, all of a sudden, it ain't enough police around. It's the most annoying thing. It's literally the most annoying thing. I mean, one of the most annoying things ever. And I don't feel sorry for her.
You mean to tell me the authorities just allow this bull crap to happen, shut them down before it even take place? You don't allow them to happen. They don't have a permit. You don't allow it.
Cell phone video shows crowds of teens taking over a portion of Greenmount Avenue over the weekend. As Baltimore police respond, the crowd spill over into residential blocks.
They push them up into the block, and then they just sit around. They don't go home. They just find another area to congregate until they can see what they see.
It looks like this has become the ghetto Fells Point.
Hold on, bro. That's racist, man. What's ghetto about it? Because if it was a bunch of white kids, you wouldn't say that. Not because of the way they behave, but only because of the color of their skin. It wouldn't have anything to do with a difference in behavior. The only reason you're saying this is because of the color of their skin. That's what he would tell me. If this guy saw this guy couldn't sit through one of my videos. You'd have to strap this guy to a chair for him to make it through. And he might break the straps and superhuman strength. Couldn't sit through one of my videos. How do I know? I'm around black people all the time. I live in Chocolate City. Internet is much different than real life. 99 out of 100 black people you see on the street couldn't sit through one of my videos.
It looks like this has become the ghetto Fells Point.
Michael Sidner says this is the third block party to invade the area since July. The latest started Saturday at Munn Park around 8:30, with crowds growing until 3 a.m.
And we're not talking small group.
No, we're talking over 1,000 children at least.
And they're kids, they're teens.
They're teens.
Teens. That's horrifying, man. That is horrifying. 1,000 teens in your... Listen, man. I used to be a teen. 3 teens. And your neck can cause a lot life-changing trouble for you. Like, it could change your life permanently. Just the presence of 3 teens. 1,000. God damn. 1,000 teens. Jesus. 1,000. Where are their parents? That means it's 1,000 sets of single mothers somewhere. 1,000 single mothers somewhere just playing cards with their girls or having date night with some felon. It's 3 o'clock in the morning. Where your kids at?
And we're not talking small group.
No, we're talking over 1,000 children at least.
And they're kids, they're teens.
They're teens. They are teens. Like I said, where the hell are they coming from?
These so-called pop-up block parties are being advertised on social media. Neighbors say they get it. It's the summer and kids need to have fun. But this was out of control.
They throwing up on people's properties and using the bathroom.
Why aren't your kids at home at 2, 3 o'clock in the morning? I mean, they teenagers. They belong in the house.
If the children are listening and they see this right here, when you come out to have fun in a way that doesn't disrespect anybody else's family.
And in an email, BPD says it was aware of this most recent pop-up block party, saying that additional resources were in the area before and after this event. Meantime, Councilman Stokes, who represents this area, says he has helped put lighting in the park. But as for these large pop-up parties, he says anything else, well, that's really up to Parks and Recs and the police department to enforce. Reporting along Greenmount Avenue near East 23rd Street, Dave Detling, WMAR 2 News.
Well, Shep, those safety measures are apparent as soon as you get to the main gate of this festival. I'll let you take a quick look here because every single attendee here must not only come with their ticket in the form of a wristband, but must also come with a COVID vaccination card. If they're not vaccinated, well then they can present a negative COVID test taken within the past 72 hours, and they must wear a mask once they get inside. Now, these restrictions were in coordination between the city of Chicago and organizers of this event. But I'll tell you, Shep, I've been talking to a lot of people as they've been going in and out. And while some say it is because of these restrictions that made them more comfortable to go to a massive event like this, you have others who say they were largely unconcerned, like this group from Ohio that I met just this morning. Listen here.
Could you imagine this many Chicagoans, Sun Chicagoans, because that's where this Lollapalooza is taking place. Could you imagine this many Sun Chicagoans in one place like this? Wow. That being said, Chicago's a great city. All these cities are great. Baltimore, DC, Atlanta, Philly. These are our flagship cities in this country, man. New York. These are great cities. The beat goes on. People are continuing to live their lives, have safe, huge events where there's absolutely no violence, no stabbings, no shootings, maybe a fight, maybe no altercations with cops, no crying mothers, no civil rights leaders holding press conferences, nothing. Just thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands. Glacier gliders, just with all up on each other, bumping each other, and having a great time. And that's what I've noticed about DC and living here in DC. All this crime and stuff, yeah, it goes on. Yeah, you can't have stuff like this in our community, but they have it. They find spaces, they have these things in their spaces. And it's not even in their community, it's in our community because it's it's in the city. They'll just have a big festival somewhere. Thousands and thousands of people, shoulder to shoulder, zero violence. Not even the specter of violence. All the kids baking home. That's how you see it. That's how it is, man. It's just crazy, man. It's just crazy. And there's no, no one can connect dots. No one can put one and one together. No one can figure out what's the difference. Because all of these glacier gliders are not rich. This is Chicago. They got homegrown glacier gliders. This is Al Capone.
I'll tell you, Chef, I've been talking to a lot of people as they've been going in and out, and while some say it is because of these restrictions that made them more comfortable to go to a massive event like this, you have others who say they were largely unconcerned, like this group from Ohio that I met just this morning. Listen here.
I think it's going to be the same either way, to be honest.
Yeah.
I mean, if there is COVID in there, you can't stop it, but...
That's kind of just like being anywhere else, so just like going to a concert or going to work or going to school or wherever you're at, it's really no different.
These are the people that are holding your children back. This is why your kids ain't got nothing and can't be nothing in this world, right? According to LeBron James and Oprah Winfrey. That's what I keep hearing from Colin Kaepernick and LeBron James and Oprah Winfrey. That our kids can't make it because these kids is blowing our kids out the water. Test scores, grades, achievement, and everything. Look how impressive they are.
I think it's going to be the same either way, to be honest.
Yeah.
I mean, if there is COVID in there, you can't stop it, but...
That's kind of just like being anywhere else, so just like going to a concert or going to work or going to school or wherever you're at, it's really no different.
Now, I spoke to an infectious disease physician from the Cook County, that's where Chicago is, and she told me that because infections are relatively low, they're not seeing the surges that you're seeing in other areas of this country, but the concern that you have from people who were calling for Lollapalooza to be moved altogether is that those surges that you see in other parts of the country may eventually make its way right here to Chicago. Shep?